Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine of Flora. So we are now in the first week of April, and I thought it would be a good idea to give you guys a little bit of an update on how the hoop house is doing, and then tell you my plans for when I am going to be planting the rest of the hoop house. So the big thing I want to give you an update on today, of course, is the ranunculus, and oh my gosh, I'll bring you in closer, but it is lush and green and really thickening up. I am so happy with it. Now, I don't see any buds yet, but I'm sure some will be coming soon, hopefully. We'll see. It's still early. You can definitely tell the first plantings and the second plantings, and I'll show you guys that all up close, but so far, I am just absolutely thrilled. At the beginning of this video, you saw me come through here and do some watering. I was actually applying a fertilizer to it. It's the first time that I have fertilized it. I use the Espoma Grow. I think I did it at full strength. I'll put it on the screen, but I mean, they're definitely going to love being fertilized, and I will probably do that every week now from here on out. So let me bring the camera closer, and I want to show you how nice and thick these are, and then also show you how my anemones are doing. Also, I don't know if you can hear, but it is raining really good outside right now. We're getting some good rain today. Of course, this doesn't get the rain. I am catching a little bit of rainwater, so I may bring it in here later. But this is how the ranunculus bed looks, and you can kind of tell down here it's a little thicker. Down here it's a little more sparse. This was my first planting, and this was my second planting. So these just haven't had a chance to fill in quite as much. But if we get on top of them, they are looking amazing. These definitely have put on growth since I put them in the ground. And you can easily see, if I get in really close here, you can easily see these are kind of the bigger leaves, but down in here, there is all kinds of new growth on all of these plants. Now, if we kind of make our way down the bed, you can see it start to thicken up. Not much dirt in between the plants. But gosh, these are just looking so green and lush. Now, I have all my kinds marked, but they're just all planted in a row. You can see my hoops that I have been using when I covered them. They're just looking really, really good. Also, I have some lettuce that has popped up in here. I might just let those grow. Now, this is where my anemones are. They're also starting to fill in. I didn't have room for everything here, so I have one crate over there and also one crate right here. And they are pushing some new growth as well. You can see some little leaves starting to pop up here. So those are going to really start taking off as well. So if I had to guess with the ranunculus, I would guess that I would start getting some blooms maybe end of May into June. They say 90 days from when you start them is when you get blooms. So I'll put the date on the screen. So if it holds true, 3 months from that date, I estimate that it'll be a little bit longer than that, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Again, I am going to start fertilizing these, so that should help them put on some growth too. As far as the rest of the hoop house goes, behind me here is going to be snapdragons. Again, I have the campanula already planted that overwintered. I'll show you guys what that looks like. And then on the other side, I have some bupleurum that is coming up. I have some feverfew down in the corner that's going to get ripped out, but I have stock that's going to go in here as well. So it'll pretty much be early season crops will be the ranunculus and anemones. Then the snapdragons will start coming on. Campanula, I would think those would be maybe June as well. I don't know. I've never grown them. So if you guys grow them, comment down below. If I planted them in zone 5A in the fall, when will I get blooms? I have both the white and the lavender in here. As far as summer crops, when I flip this over, well, let me go back. Snapdragons and stock are probably going to be planted out in the next couple weeks. Those are both cool season crops, so then they will start growing on in here. Once the ranunculus and anemones and stock are done, because stock is a one and done, all of that area will be turned over. The snapdragons, I think I'm going to let those grow all season long and see how they do in here. It does get really, really hot in here in the summer, and so I definitely roll up the sides for ventilation. But last year, my snapdragons that I had planted in here were able to grow on through the whole entire season. The campanula, I think I'm also going to let grow through the entire season. But as far as summer crops, this middle area will be direct sown with a lot of fillers like cress or leia, maybe some more bupleurum. I have a whole entire list. And so that is the plan for the middle section. It will be direct sown with things that I can easily do. I may even pop some zinnias in here because I can easily direct sow those. So those will be easy, fast crops. As far as the west area over here, the campanula, I may let that grow on as well, but the stock is a one and done. So I will have half of the hoop house on this side that is stock. I'm going to start some celosia to plant in here. I have read that because the celosia is such a hot, heat-loving plant, that they grow well in a hoop house. I got that from the Johnny's website. So I think I may specifically grow all my floret celosia in here. And then if I have room in here for zinnias, I think I may put the floret zinnias in here as well. So it'll just be a little bit of an experiment, a trial year, but that's kind of my plan for the hoop house. So anyway, enough with my rambling. Let me show you how the campanula and the other things in here are doing. All right, so here is all of the white campanula. Again, this was planted last fall. I'm in zone 5A in Northwest Iowa. And according to the Johnny's website, their trials with fall sown campanula wintering over did well, and clearly mine did as well. They're looking really good. Now, if you span this way, this also was campanula, but it was being taken over by something that I wasn't quite sure what it was. Now I know because it's moving upward. This is cress. This is self-seeded cress. I just let it go to see if I could get some early filler, but there is still campanula growing underneath of there. Then as we move over here, you can see campanula as well, but surrounded by some other growth. That is all the nigella that direct seeded itself. And it did on the edge of the hoop house as well. I want to let a little bit of this go, but I really think that to let the campanula grow to its full potential, I really do need to thin it out. So I may leave some of them nigella, but for the most part, I need to thin it out, and I probably will do that this week. So this corner has kind of become the catch-all with my frost cloth. There's my tripod. All of the brown is feverfew that I am not saving. A little bit is starting to push some really good growth. This was a variety of feverfew that I didn't care for as much as some others I had grown last year. And hoop house space is like premium space, so I'm just going to end up ripping it out. But as we move down the line, this is all of the purple campanula. It is a lot smaller than the other because I planted it a lot later and it got a slow start. But gosh, it's really starting to grow nicely, as you can see. We're still in the campanula. Then we get a little space here, and then all of this is self-seeded bupleurum. And I love bupleurum as a filler. It's starting to get upright growth now. So I'm just going to let these go and harvest them, and then this will get filled in for summer crops. And then this back corner is empty. I have some crate tulip bulbs going. These don't look very good. Those I think are going to bloom okay, and those don't look very good. So then this will all get planted up as well. All right, so that is pretty much an update on the entire hoop house. I will make sure to keep you guys posted when I see any buds and any blooms coming from these Ranunculus. I have so many beautiful varieties. And if you've been watching my videos, you know I have yet to have a successful growing season with Ranunculus. So I'm really hoping that I have a good crop this year. I mean, it looks great. So far, so good, right? I am going to leave the hoop house closed today. It's 43 degrees in here right now, which is great. It's raining and it's windy, so I'm just going to let everything be sheltered in here today. And then hopefully in the next couple days when it really warms up, I'm going to get out here and start thinning that nigella and pulling the feverfew and maybe even planting some snapdragons in stock. We have 2 more nights in the 20s, and beyond that, it's all 30s and 40s. So I think we're past the cold stuff, and I would really like to get some of those hardy annuals in the ground, especially the snapdragons, because I know they can take the frost. So anyway, when I'm out here doing that, I will bring the camera along. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope everyone had a great Easter holiday. Stay tuned for a lot more I have a lot more going this spring, and I will make sure to bring the camera along the whole time. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.